Hey, what's up guys, Brad here. So today we're taking a look at the brand new Duel Links mini box Guardians of Rock. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed in this one, because if we scroll down, you will see a ton of cards from the Duel Monsters Orichalcos arc, so things like Amulet Dragon and Guardian Ertous, which, you know, are cool cards, and I'm really happy they're in the game, but we're getting everything. Like, apart from the Seal of Orichalcos and Doomvirus Dragon, Mirror Force Dragon, those make sense, we're getting pretty much everything from that season, which to me signals that they aren't going to be doing a Duelist Chronicles Orichalcos arc, or no Raphael, Valen, Darts, you know, none of those characters are going to be coming to Duel Links anytime soon, so kind of disappointing, but I guess it was to make sense because we've seen in the data mines that there is no Orichalcos World arc, world thing. There's only like Grand Championships, which to me makes even less sense, and then DSOD and all the rest, so who knows? Who knows what they're doing? Who knows what they're thinking? But this box is pretty heavily based around Rock and Magnet Warriors, which is pretty cool. You know, the fact we have things like the Eye of Timaeus in Duel Links is great. You know, we're missing all the other Dark Magician support, like that's still not coming, but this is a very good start and one of my favourite cards from this set. Now, I must kind of say this before I go into the video, because I'm going to go through the ultra rares, super rares, and then kind of touch on some of the rares and normals. This can't be searched with Magician's Rod. It's not searchable, because it lists Dark Magician Monster, not Dark Magician as like the card name, so you can't search this if that's what you're planning to do. You know, summon Rod, search this out, play this, you can't do that. So just a general word of warning from a Dark Magician player to you guys. So we've already seen Berserk Young. We know Berserk Young is pretty beefy, he's pretty cool. Requires Alpha, Beta, and Gamma Electromagnetic Warriors to be banished from your hand, field, or graveyard, which is crazy because the deck already really does do a good job of getting Magnet Warriors in the graveyard. The only downside is that Gamma and Alpha are super rares in this set, and Beta isn't. Now, the funny thing is, KONAMI actually here, they actually suggest using Delta to send Beta to the graveyard, so we can get 3 Delta from the card trader, but only 1 Beta from Yugi's level up reward. So, is that a good thing? No. You know, it's a workaround to that strategy. It just means that if you didn't want to play Delta, which, I mean, you would play Delta because Delta's really good, but if you didn't want to play Delta, then you kind of have to for this deck to even work at least a bit optimally. But if you don't have Beta, you know, if you don't have Yugi to level 45, whatever it is, then you are shit out of luck, and it's gonna be hard for you guys to get this card out, because he's pretty good, you know? He gets to destroy a card on the field, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, type 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it by banishing a level 4 or Magnet Warrior monster in your graveyard, so he can use up resources very, very easily. He's really cool. Then we have Debris Dragon, the smaller version of Starless Dragon. It's okay, you know, it has to be used for a Dragon Synchro. The materials must be, or they cannot be level 4, so you can't just go this and a level 4 into Starless, you have to go this and a level 2 and a level 2, or a level 1, level 3, or any number higher than that, so it's okay. It brings back a monster in the graveyard when it's normal summoned, but apart from that, I don't think it should have been UR at all. I think it should have been SR. Then we have Magician's Navigation. This is some good shit. This is some good stuff. Dark Magician finally getting a decent bit of support, which it needed. Really, this isn't going to make the deck, you know, tier 0, tier 1, but will give it some consistency in just spamming out big monsters onto your board. So you get to special summon 1 DM from your hand, then a level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster from your deck. So it can be a Dark Magician, can be a Kaiku, can be a Breaker the Magical Warrior, can be a whole ton of things in Duel Links. It could be Dark Magician God if you really wanted to, but pretty cool. Then, of course, when it's in the graveyard, the turn after you've used it, you get to have a negate in the graveyard if you have Dark Magician on the field, so not too bad. It's a pretty cool card. It's definitely integral for the Dark Magician strategy going forward, and even more so in the future when we get like a Dark Magical Circle at some point. This will be a very key card for that deck. Now to the super rares, because all of these are new. You know, we hadn't seen these cards in the leaked banner, so first up, that's what I meant to say, not thirst. Thought Ruler Archfiend is a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 synchro, psychic, but it's generic. This was a pretty powerful card in a TCG as far as I remember, with a emergency teleport, so really cool getting in Duel Links. if it destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can gain life points equal to that monster's original attack points in the graveyard. So that is really good for Psychics, because Psychics like paying your life points to do things, to keep them on board, to destroy cards. The deck likes using life points, and anything that can kind of keep refilling that mana pool up is really, really good. During other player's turn, a spell trap is activated that targets exactly one Psychic monster you control. You can pay 1,000 to get activation, and if you do, destroy it. This is really good because of things like Gale Lizard, Quackimeru, the big one, whatever it's called. Draco, I think it is. Why do I not know what that card's name is? Subterrors, you know, you can negate those things, and it's pretty good, you know, it's a pretty good synchro for today's meta. I really do like it. Really think it's gonna be pretty good, and obviously, you could just splash it in any deck and just have this as a Psychic type that your opponent would be targeting because it's a pretty big monster. So, pretty cool on that one. Then we have Amulet Dragon. This is going to be so much fun to play around with. Requires Dark Magician +1 Dragon type monster to summon, or you can use Artemias, so you don't have to use Artemias to bring this guy out, but it is just it's one card less you're using. But then you can't search out with, like, you know, a Polymerization Searcher, so 50-50. When it's summoned, you get to target any number of spell cards in the graveyard, banish them, and it gains 100 attack points for every one of them, so it can become pretty big in Duel Links. Like, if your opponent was a Spellbook player, this would be a pretty big boy, so pretty cool. And also it gets around, you know, things like Neos Fusion, like Diamond Core, because it means your opponent has to waste them on their turn, or like on the turn before you summon this guy out, because then you could just banish them and then they have no protection for their monsters, so really good way around that. Plus, when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one spellcaster monster in your graveyard, and basically that means Dark Magician. You know, most of the time in a TCG, you'd bring back Dark Magician because then you get a pop with Circle, but we don't have Circle in Duel Links, so you'd still bring back Dark Magician just because it's a very big monster. Unless we have another spellcaster that, you know, does something on summon, that's going to be your go-to target. Alpha we're not going to talk about because we did it in our leak preview video. So yeah, they all kind of do the same. They're all required for Berserk Young. They're pretty cool. You're going to need them. Go in and get them. You know, like, you're just going to need them. Then we have TriMet Master a Rock level 4. So TriMets are the other rock archetype in the set that's really cool. I don't think we have Sphinx, which is the boss card of the archetype. I think that one makes the deck really good. Once per turn, you can send one face-up TriMet card you control to the grave, then target a set card on the field, destroy it, so it's some removal. That's pretty cool. That's really good again, with Subterrors being so prominent, because you just target their face downs, blow them up. Really nice. Once per turn, your opponent's turn, you can target one TriMet field spell card in your field zone, send it to the grave, and if you do, activate one TriMet field spell card from a deck with a different name. So, does that mean there's more than one TriMet field spell? There must be. Let's quickly have a look. So there's TriMet Cruiser, there's TriMet Kingdom. Cruiser, I think, is one that we saw. Actually, we did see Cruiser. We did see Cruiser in the leak video, and that would get you a Surge as well on Destruction. So that's really cool. And of course, this one gains you life points whenever rock summoned, so you can see where this and Thor Archfiend are kind of coming from, with some more life point gaining archetypes, and then getting to thin your deck out whenever you draw, whenever you search a monster, or summon a monster, sorry, by drawing one and discarding one. So really is going to be a fun deck to play around with and see exactly how good this can be, how good of an engine this can be, so pretty cool. Gonna go all over the place right now. We're going to go to Catapult Zone because it is another rock themed card, another field spell card. This one I've played a ton in Legacy of the Duelist, Link Evolution. Once per turn, if a monster you control be destroyed by battle, send a rock type from your deck to the graveyard instead. This is going to be very useful for Magnet Warriors, just getting more magnets in the graveyard for that Berserk Young play. It's going to be really, really good, so just a good card in general. I really do like that one. Then we have Guardian Ertous. This, of course, is Raphael's ace monster, and we do have Dread Scythe in the game as well, so you do have that whole strategy open to you. When she's destroyed, summoning out Dread Scythe and getting a very powerful monster on the field that keeps bringing itself back, so very, very cool. But you can special this card from your hand if you have no monster in your graveyard, so if you open this turn 1, you can just special summon her for free. She's a very, very good card for that. You can send one of your equipped spell cards, equip this card to the graveyard, then type up 3 monsters in your opponent's graveyard and banish them, and if you do, it gains 500 for every monster banished until the end of this turn, so it can become a 4,000 point monster very, very easily, and remove stuff in your opponent's graveyard, so again, removing things like AD Changer, what's it called, Bacon Saver, White Stones, what else? Magnet Warriors if you really needed to. Like, it can do that. It's good we're getting in Duel Links these graveyard management cards, and because we are, I feel like the next main box is going to bring back Necro Valley, because now seems like a good time to bring it back once we've gotten some cards that do things with moving things from the graveyard to the banished zone. So really cool card, and definitely great, Necro Valley, that's going to be coming soon. Then we have Tsukuyomi, a very classic card that was very, very good in GOAT format in the TCG. I know it's still played today in GOAT format, so that's pretty cool. Can't be special summoned as a spirit, obviously, so it returns back to your hand at the end of the turn. If this card is normal summoned or flipped face up, target one face-up monster on the field, change it to the face-down defense position, so this could be used to, say, change Subterrace face down, or your Gale Lizards for your Neos decks, or just change a big monster your opponent controls to face-down defense position, so you can beat over it with Tsukuyomi or something. So it's a very cool, versatile card that saw a ton of play back in the day, might see some play now, and is one of the better cards in the set, honestly. Really cool card. And then we have, I believe, the final SR card that we've kind of talked about. Block Dragon. This is a newer card, came out in, I'd like to say it was the Dark Illusion of the TCG, but I might be wrong on that one. Covenant must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by banishing 3 earth monsters from your hand and or graveyard, and can't be special summoned by the way, so it can bring itself back when it's been sent to the graveyard. You can send it to the graveyard for things like Catapult Zone, so you're just getting it in the graveyard so that you have that option available to you, potentially the same turn or the next turn onwards, so very, very cool. Rock type monster you can control can't be destroyed except by battle, so anything that targets them is going to do absolutely nothing. So that Quackimero card, Quackimero Draco I think it is, or Drago, again I don't know, that can't kill this thing or can't kill rock types in general, so that's pretty cool. You would splash this in Magnet Warriors because it would just be a very, very good card to use as a one-off. Really, really cool. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add up to 3 rock type monsters from your deck to your hand, whose total levels equal 8. You can use this effect once per turn, so it then just searches out your deck for even more monsters, and what it's doing is, again, it's setting itself up to be special summoned on your next turn, searching potentially up to 3 monsters that you can then discard on your next turn, or banish on your next turn, sorry, to bring Block Dragon back out. So very, very cool card, and definitely one I think is going to be a bit tilting on the ladder just because of how good and how easy it is to summon. It's kind of like a Mega Rock Dragon, but well, it's not really like Mega Rock Dragon, but it just reminds me of Mega Rock Dragon in how versatile it can be, how strong it can become, and how good of a recursion it can be. So very, very cool card right there. I think that's all the SR's done. Let's have a quick look. Yep, there's just, Cruiser and Catapult Zone. So again, if you watched my my most recent video, I think it was the what video was it? It was the Blazing Rose video, where we talked about some of the good cards from the set which weren't SRs or URs. I talked about Golden Sentry, and I said, maybe at some point we'll be getting the stuff from the Exod Master of the Guardian Invincible Fortress deck coming to Duel Links. We're getting Exod. This is yeah. They put a burn card in. They really went and put a burn card in. Obviously it's a bit hard to summon, but pretty beefy defense, obviously can be destroyed very easily, but it does do 1000 burn damage to your opponent every time an earth monster is flip summoned. So it means that the Sphinx deck is one you're going to want to play around with, and this is pretty good. I don't think we have Guardian Sphinx, which is the big Sphinx monster, the really good Sphinx monster, so we don't have that just yet, but still cool to see, Exod being in here, and whatever. Dogu! Is this a reprint? I feel this is a reprint, but it might not be a reprint. I can't remember whether we got this or not. I thought we did. I thought we got this because it was in a leak video ages ago. So if this is not a new card, or not an old card, sorry, this is pretty cool. Dogu is a pretty fun card, and definitely check it out. So what else do we have in here? We have all the fusions like Red Ice Black Dragon Sword. That's going to be fun to play around with because obviously splash it in your Red Ice extra deck. Might be a bit useful, might not be. Again, all these other Joey fusions, and we have the best card in the game, Mystical Sand, Giant Sword of Stone plus Mystical Elf, or Ancient Elf, sorry. So how it's Mystical Sand, how is that sand? I don't know, but still pretty cool. And again, just we have Dread Scythe, we have Guardian Dread Scythe, which is going to be pretty nuts when you get this card out, and it's very easy to get out as well. But it must be special summoned from your hand, so it does need to be in your hand when Guardian Ertous is destroyed by battle card effect. So it does require at least some setup. You're not immediately getting a benefit from Yatos being destroyed. So very, very cool card. That is my quick fire review of this box, of what I kind of am looking forward to personally. TriMet seem cool, Magnet Warriors seem cool if we do get more betas If we don't, then the deck's going to kind of struggle. It might still be really good, just having Beta or Delta drop Beta into the graveyard very easily, having a ton of other cards drop Beta into the graveyard very easily, could still be very good for the deck, but I think Beta's like, it's a key card in current Magnet Warriors because it's able to special summon, but maybe in this one it'd be too powerful to have multiple copies of, I have no idea. Let me know your thoughts down below on this new box, Guardians of Rock. It's coming very soon, I believe it is on the 18th, so not too long to go for that one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.